In the quiet town of Fayetteville, West Virginia, a strange and unsettling mystery has lingered for over 7 decades. It's a tale that intertwines tragedy, unanswered questions, and the eerie feeling that something is not quite right. This is the story of the Sodder children's disappearance. On Christmas Eve 1945, the Sodder family was preparing for the holidays. George and Jenny Sodder, along with 9 of their 10 children, were enjoying a festive evening at home. Their eldest son, Joe, was away in the army. As the night progressed, the younger children asked to stay up late and play with the new toys they had received. Jenny agreed, but she made sure to remind them to turn off the lights, close the curtains, and lock the front door before heading to bed. Sometime after midnight, Jenny Sodder was awakened by the smell of smoke. She woke George, and they quickly realized their house was on fire. They managed to escape with 4 of their children, Sylvia, Marion, John, and George Jr. The other 5 children, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, were still inside the house. George frantically tried to rescue them, but every attempt was thwarted. The ladder that was always by the house was missing, the phone line had been cut, and their trucks wouldn't start. Helplessly, they watched as the fire consumed their home. When the fire was finally extinguished, there was no trace of the 5 missing children. The authorities concluded that they had perished in the fire, their bodies completely incinerated. However, George and Jenny Sodder were not convinced. There were too many anomalies and strange occurrences that suggested otherwise. In the weeks and months following the fire, bizarre clues began to surface. A woman claimed to have seen the children peering from a car as the house burned. Another woman reported serving them breakfast the next morning at a tourist stop. A local woman said she saw them with unfamiliar adults in a nearby town. George and Jenny Sodder began to suspect foul play. They believed their children had been kidnapped and were still alive. They hired private investigators and even put up billboards offering a reward for information leading to their return. Over the years, various tips and sightings were reported, but none led to any definitive answers. Numerous theories have been proposed over the years. Some believe the fire was set intentionally as a cover-up for the kidnapping. Others suggest the involvement of organized crime or a personal vendetta against George, who was an outspoken critic of Italian dictator Benito Mussolini. The missing ladder was later found in a ditch, and it was discovered that the phone line had been cut, adding more weight to the theory of a planned abduction. Jenny Sodder passed away in 1989, still holding on to the hope that her children were alive. George had died years earlier, but both parents spent their lives searching for answers. Their surviving children have continued the search, maintaining the family's belief that their siblings did not die in the fire that fateful night. The disappearance of the Sodder children remains one of the most mysterious unsolved cases in American history. It's a story that continues to intrigue and haunt those who hear it, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring quest for truth. The questions linger: what really happened to Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty Sodder? The truth may never be known, but the mystery endures, a chilling chapter in the annals of unsolved history.